Most people don't actually know when their nervous system is chronically stressed because it doesn't always look like panic attacks or burnout or full-on breakdowns. Sometimes it's as simple as managing, surviving, the feeling of, I'm fine, I can handle it, I'm still going, I can still get up every day. So today I am going to go over 7 signs that your nervous system is chronically stressed. Hopefully this will help you understand what your body may be trying to communicate with you without shaming or pathologizing. Before we get into the signs, it's really important that you understand that chronic stress is not just psychological, it's also physiological, which means you're going to be experiencing symptoms in your body. Your nervous system has 2 primary jobs. The first is survival, so this is going to be detecting threat. The second is connection. This is about making sure you feel safe enough to engage in whatever's going on. When chronic stress takes over, it's like that threat detection system is somewhat broken because you're going to end up getting stuck in survival mode even when there's nothing dangerous going on. And some of my clients even describe it to me as feeling like they're in overdrive. So this is what I call my high functioning people. You're functioning, you're going through your everyday life, but your nervous system is still feeling the effects. And this is why it can be hard to detect. So we're going to go through the signs right now. Sign number 1 is that you can't relax even when you try. You struggle to actually feel calm. Instead, you may feel restless, agitated, pressured, guilty, that's a big one for me, bored, or just generally unsafe to slow down. This is a sign that your system is used to constant activation. In a chronically stressed nervous system, rest is going to feel like a threat, not something that feels safe. Sign number 2 is that your mind is always on, if you know what I mean. This can look like overthinking, catastrophizing, replaying conversations, planning every outcome, scanning constantly for what could go wrong. This is not just worry, this is threat perception. So it's your perception of the amount of danger you're in, and often it's very proactive or forward thinking as opposed to grounded in the reality of what's truly going on. This is your brain trying to predict danger ahead of time because it doesn't feel safe to exist in the present moment. Sign number 3 is that you feel tired, but you're wired. Chronic stress often leads to feeling exhausted during the day, but alert at night. You're stuck between fatigue and tension. Without going too much into the clinical terminology, this is the classic swing from sympathetic into the dorsal vagal response. Your system pushes for productivity, then crashes into shutdown, and then jolts back into activation. Ultimately, this is messing with your sleep, your energy, and your recovery. Sign number 4 is that you need to be busy. Busyness can be a distraction, a coping mechanism, a way to avoid sensation, a way to avoid emotional material, or a way to feel in control. If slowing down triggers discomfort instead of rest, your body looks at productivity as a form of protection. Sign number 5 is that you disconnect from your body. I actually hear this a lot. I'm going to go into it, but I hear this a lot from my therapy clients of like, I feel like my mind and my body are disconnected. Like they're saying 2 different things. They are not talking to each other at all. So this is what that can look like. Numbness, flatness, a form of dissociation sometimes, being in your head, not noticing hunger, fatigue, tension, or other body cues. This is oftentimes your nervous system saying it's too much to feel right now, so I'm just going to stay numb instead. Sign number 6 is that you feel irritable or overwhelmed because chronic stress is going to shrink your window of tolerance. Small things may feel big, so noise, decisions, interruptions, emotional demands, and social interactions. Irritability and overwhelm are often symptoms of overload, not mood issues. Sign number 7 is that your digestion, sleep, or immunity feel off. Chronic sympathetic activation is going to divert resources away from where your body may need it because you're pulling more resources for your nervous system than it's used to. So this might pull resources away from your sleep quality, your hormonal balancing, your digestion, your immunity, and more. You might notice poor sleep, gut issues, frequent colds or illness, appetite changes, or elevated inflammation. There is nothing actually wrong with your body. You're just prioritizing survival over restoration, which can become an issue, hence why we need to become aware if we are living in a state of chronic stress. Let's talk about why we miss these signs, because it's really important to understand how they were missed in the first place or how we might catch them in the future. So the first thing is that productivity is often rewarded. So we look like we're still doing everything. We're still going to work. We're still getting things done. We're taking the kids here, so on and so forth. We're going to the gym. So that is societally rewarded. So we think we're doing everything right. We think this functioning is actually good. And then there's the component of normalization, if you will, right? So stress is somewhat normalized in our society. If you want to make money, if you want to keep your career, if you want to manage and juggle all of these things that we're expected to do, well, stress is just a component of that. You're just expected to be stressed to some extent, but chronic stress is dangerous. Another thing is that chronic stress often develops slowly and over time. So it's kind of sneaky, if you will. You might not notice it right away, or you may have a few low quality sleeps and think nothing of it. But over time, they're going to get more and more frequent, and or you're going to have more and more of those symptoms that we talked about. Another thing is that we adapt, right? So if maybe our sleep quality is getting worse, we're starting to learn, our body's adapting, we're starting to learn to function on less sleep or on lower quality sleep. Our body is designed to keep us functioning, to keep us surviving, but it doesn't mean we can always stay stuck in survival. So even as we adapt, we need to become aware of that and identify if it's truly healthy for us. The last thing is that the dysregulation of chronic stress is often hidden by the fact that we are still high functioning, right? So we're still going to the job, we're still doing everything. Like I said at the beginning, we might not be having panic attacks, we might not be having breakdowns, we might not be lying in bed fully burnt out. We're still doing all the things, so we think we're okay. But there's so much dysregulation under that. And if we peel back the layer of the benefits of productivity and high functioning and all of those things, we're gonna see the root cause of other things that are showing up in our lives. The truth is that most chronically stressed people don't collapse. They learn to cope. But the truth behind that is that eventually the body says enough. You're going to have chronic illness. You're going to hit burnout. You'll get sick so often you cannot keep up with your own life. These are how these will begin to eventually show up if you keep going at an unsustainable rate. So let's talk about now what we do with this information. If you recognized yourself in any of these signs or you think you're moving in that direction, the goal is not to self-blame. It's to be grateful for the awareness because we can actually start to make change. Remind yourself that chronic stress is not a character flaw. It's a nervous system response that your body learned at one time for a really good reason. You don't exit survival mode by pushing harder. So sometimes my clients will be like, okay, I'll just force myself to sleep more, or I'll take more rest, or I'll build in breaks. Okay, slow down. We don't actually get ourselves out of survival mode by pushing harder in a different direction. We get out of survival mode by building safety. Here is how that may look. So it's going to start with small cues of regulation, predictable routines, allowing pauses built into your day, reducing self-pressure, connecting with supportive people. These are my friends that don't like to ask for help. You're going to have to. And learning and listening to your body's signals. Tiny adjustments create nervous system safety over time. And just like I told you that it was kind of sneaky, this buildup of chronic stress, it happened over a period of time. You're going to need that same period of time to slowly build the safety to work your way out of survival mode. But the most important thing is to start taking those small steps. Now, if you want to go deeper into any of those, I have a bunch of resources in the description down below, or if there's one of those that piqued your curiosity or you want to learn more about, please let me know in the comment section and I could create a separate video on any of them. If you're starting to realize how much stress your nervous system has been carrying, it's actually a really good thing because you're getting clarity on how you're truly feeling, which allows you to take steps towards change. If you like this video, please feel free to hit the subscribe button or leave me a comment down below. It really helps out the channel and allows more people to find this information, and that is my primary goal. Thank you so much for watching. I'm posting new videos on Wednesdays and Sundays, so I will see you in the next one.